Recording in progress.
Hide your face, hide your face. You're there. You're on the World Wide Web for eternity. So I decided, why don't we just get back to the Jazz Songbook, and I'll share that with folks, and people can riffle through it and kind of see what it is that we've been missing all these months that we've been doing the folk rock of the 70s. And here we are. So we're just going to single strum through this. So you've got two chords in brackets, C and C major 7. They're twins. They're right next to each other. Beautiful chords. The C major 7 is only there as an additive, as some salt or pepper or a little bit of spice. You've got A7 and A7 plus 5. They are twins. They are right next to each other. A7, of course, is 0, 1, 0, 0. A7 plus 5, you're just adding a finger below it on that second fret. So 0, 1, 1, 0. It's just spice. It's just an additive, just to give you a little bit of movement in the chord. D minor, of course. As long as you've got D minor pulled together, you might as well throw a pinky in once in a while. G7, of course, swing down. Might as well throw a pinky in there. But you don't need to do any of the spice. You could just do the regular stuff. So you do C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4, D minor, D minor, G7, G7, and C, and Miss the Saturday is your 2, 3, 4, and C, Miss the Saturday dance, 2, 3, 4. A comma means continue with the same chord, or apostrophe rather. Heard they crowded the floor, 2, 3, 4. And on each of these, once we get into it, you could add that C major 7. Heard they crowded the floor. But you can play it just fine without. Sounds beautiful without. Couldn't bear it without you, D minor, 2, 3, 4, G7. Don't get around much anymore, 2, 3, 4. So G7 stop, it requires the player to time out the missing 2, 3, 4. So you can either tap it out, G7, 2, 3, 4, and then you have an instrumental section. I hope everybody is kind of right here in this first shaded area. So if you don't have a sense of, if you aren't tapping your foot, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, 4, C. You can strum it out, G7. Or you can tap it out, G7, 2, 3, 4, C. Now, if you want to include the spice, you can merely split the 4 beats in 2, C, 2, 2, 2, major 7, 2, A7, 2, add a finger, 2, A7, 2, D minor 2, D minor 2, D minor 7, 2, G7, 2. You can split them in 2 like that. It sounds beautiful to my ear. Beautiful chords. Or if you're doing a rhythmic strum, let's say you're doing down, down, up, down, you would switch it, or down, up, down. You would switch on the up. So you would split it in half. So you would do down, down, switch, down, down, switch, down, down, switch. And if that, we'll have this recorded, so If that doesn't come to you intuitively, that's something you could practice. A7 and add one on the up. D minor. G7 on the up. Down, down, up. Second verse, thought I'd visit the club, exact same as the first. And then you've got this middle section here, Darling I Guess, which has my favorite diminished chord. So, and it's nice to kind of, darling I like kind of down strums there. No matter what you're doing as your strum for the previous sections, it's nice to, you've got kind of a new feel with a new interlude, with a new set of chords. It's nice to change up the strum and just, darling I guess. Well, isn't that awkward? So let's look at some stuff. Let's go to the OUJ Action Cam. Let's see what's happening up here. Action, action, action. So, for your diminished chords, they're always the same shape. They've got this. On one fret, you've got your top string and your second string, and on the next fret, you've got your third string and your first string. And nobody grows up learning how to hold their fingers like that. So, for those of us who are fingerly challenged, it's really nice to have a kind of a little cheater finger, especially the pinky. The pinky, everybody's pinky flies away, and it's so hard to keep it in close. When you're playing your F, darling, at any time, and this goes for any song you're playing of any kind, if you've got 4 beats of F, you can always add a C note, which is what I just did with my pinky. I just stuck it down there on that first string, 3rd fret. It just gives you a nice higher pitched F. But what it does is it anchors the pinky, which is the hardest finger to land on the diminished chord. And all you have to do is now layer a form that you are familiar with, which is the G. So here's your G, your normal G, and you're just putting it all one string above because your pinky is already down there on that first string. So you don't need to put any of those fingers down there. You need to put them all one string above. So Ron and I were talking about ukastenics. So here would be the ukastenic practice. Do an F, 2, put your pinky down, 3, 4, layer a G. Oh, so smooth. And nobody knows that you did that. Everybody knows that you are now playing a 4-finger chord and you are a master of the ukulele. Now, if you want to get, at that 3rd level, that Zen master level, you can lightly put your fingers down in the right form and just rest them on the strings and bring them up just a little bit and put them back down, and bring them up 1/1000th of an inch off the strings and put them back down, and bring them up and put them back down, and bring them up and put them back down. But it's going to take you a long time to master that. You can slide your pinky down to another section and layer above it, slide it down to another section, layer above it, slide it back, layer, and that's a pretty good ukastenic move to practice. Now, you may not have any other songs in your lifetime that have a diminished chord, but if you do, you want to recognize early on that in the chord diagrams at the top of whatever song it is, oh my goodness, there's a diminished chord. Is there a way for me to anchor a C before I get there? And if it's preceded by an F, that's the easiest one. If it's preceded by a G, you can always play G sus4 and then push everything up. So that's your cheater number one. Cheater number two is, cheater number two is, darling, I guess. It's just don't play it and wait till you get back to the C. Mine's more at ease. So that is kind of a real cheater move. But who cares? It's your ukulele. It's your time. It's your life. If you don't want to play a chord, don't play it. Just keep the timing going. So keep those 4 beats going and jump back in when you're ready to jump back in. But that diminished chord is a combination of a G form and a G7 form. So you're playing an F, just do the G, not down on your regular G, but up a string. So it's 2, 3, 2 open, and just strum the top 3 strings. Who is going to know? Or you're doing an F, swing down to the G7 and slide it over 1 string. And just strum your bottom strings. If you happen to hit the top string, you hit the top string. So what? It's only 4 beats. No first growth redwoods will be sacrificed if you happen to hit the top string. The only thing with any of these is if you're going to try it, you have to settle on your strategy before you get there. Because if you get there and you think, now, which of the 4 strategies was I going to use on this diminished chord? We will be in verse number 5 by the time you figure out what you're going to do. So you want to, if you're at a jam, you're working with a group, you see a diminished chord, you want to figure out your strategy. Oh, a diminished chord, what can I do with that? Oh yeah, I can do a G form, I can do a G7 form, I can get my pinky down early. What do I want to do? You're going to have a minute while the person leading the song is trying to describe, look out for the diminished chord, and you'll be way ahead and you'll have your strategy down. So let's go back to Darling, I Guess. Yes, nice and slow. Figure out your strategy. My strategy is I'm going to put my pinky down after the second beat of F, and it's going to be ready, and I'm going to layer a G right over it. Now look, you're going to have that diminished, and then a C, a C7, then you're going to have the F and the diminished chord again. And that's going to happen down here in the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th section, where you get the F and G flat diminished over and over again. So let's see how that, so it'd be good to kind of get this dialed in now, so you've got it dialed in the next time it comes around. So we've got, darling, I layer guess, my mind's, I'm just keeping my pinky down there, mine's more at ease. Wait till you see what's coming up. But never, put your pinky down whenever the layer less. You are already forming a G7 with these lower 3 fingers. All you have to do is take your index finger off the board, slide everything back. Why stir up? That's your G7. Stir up. That is so smooth. What? What did you just do? I did an F. I layered it with a C. I layered it with a G over the top for the diminished. I slid it all over 1. Whoa, whoa. Rock my world. So, that's all we got on that. That's about as much instruction as you can stand for today. So let's see, what else do we have to do? You always want to do tempo. Tell people what the tempo is going to be. Tell them what the strum's going to be. And look at the ending so everybody knows how it's going to finish. So we've got that outro with C all the way at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, A7. 2, 3, 4, A7. Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. And now I've got my G7. I'm just taking off 2 fingers, leaving one in place for that jazzy C major 7 finish. So it's G7. So you played C for 4 beats. 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, 4. Ah. Oh. Okay, who's got questions? Awfully different without you. I'm gonna do regular old me for the playthrough. So this is kind of, try to do it slow. I'm gonna do down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. How's that for tempo, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm switching on the up, adding on the up. Makes you want to cry. It's such a sad series, sad chord progression. Missed the Saturday dance, heard the crowd hit the floor. Like I said, you can add that A7 plus 5, couldn't bear it without you. Don't get around much anymore. 2, 3, 4. Thought I'd visit the club. Got as far as the door. They have asked me about you. Don't get around much anymore. Here we go. Darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up old memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. And I'm just doing 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats. Darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up old memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Big finish. Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. 2, 3, 4. Oh, makes you want to cry. That's the Duke. That is why we play jazz on the ukulele, because it just sounds so good. That's That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Any questions about that song before we move on? Still have the music up. Well, alrighty then. So Fly Me to the Moon. What happened to all that? It came up is what happened. I just have to pay attention. That's the only thing. I clicked on it and it actually came up. So it used to be in landscape. When I started doing chord diagrams, some songs I could figure out how to do it in portrait and everything kind of laid out nicely. And some songs to fit the phrases where I wanted them to fit, I could only do it in landscape, which made everybody crazy because we had these songbooks that would have 100 songs and 80, 90 of them would be in portrait. And then all of a sudden we'd pick a song like Fly Me to the Moon and it would be in landscape and you'd have to, however you were attaching your book to your music stand and you'd have to flip it around. Hey, but that's how we learn. Finally got around to putting it in portrait. That's what I was trying to say. So what's going on with those chord diagrams? Oh yeah, E minor 7-5. I love it. So we're going to single strum through this and we'll get to E minor 7-5 with the OUJ Action Cam momentarily. D minor, we just did that in the last song. G7, did that in the last song. C, that's, let me see where E7, does E7 follow C every time? E7, no, there's a D minor and then an E7, so that'll be an ukastenic moment for us. But C to E7, you just slide you're already playing C, you already got a finger planted, hopefully your ring finger on that first string, 3rd fret. Just slide that over to the 2nd fret and then lay down your very movable, very prehensile index and middle fingers down for that E7. 1, 2, 0, 2. How may I direct your call? Tap, tap means tap, tap. Slash, slash means 2 down strum. Let me see. Fly me, we're at first line, A minor to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Now instead of C, C major 7, we're doing C, C7. And again, what happens if you just do C there? Play among the stars. Nothing. C works fine. You do not have to add the salt and pepper. Let me see what... I put a pinky down for no reason other than to show. There's no diminished chord here, but just to show you can add a pinky to that F anytime you want, just to give you another little zing of sound. Let me see what spring is like. Well, I'm telling you, there is no easy way to get from D minor to E7. You just have to jump off the high dive, D minor to E7, D minor to E7, D minor. Maybe you reach up with your index finger and then swing the other 2 down and try to do it quickly with nobody watching. I can tell you, if you did that for 1 minute, you would be incredibly good. We're just going to do it for 10 seconds. D minor to E7, D minor to 7, Jupiter and, well, I'll talk about that in a minute. And Mars. That's a really nice transition, that A minor, A7. Not necessary, but it does, in other words, hold my, take a look at the chord diagram. I mean, you'll see this with your fingers in a second, but if you take a look at the chord diagram for G7, and E minor 7-5 is they both share. I was going to do the action cam, wasn't I? I said I would, so I better do it. So I remain true to what I said. They both share the middle finger. There's your G7. Here's your E minor 7-5. So all you're doing, and throughout the song, G7 precedes E minor 7-5. So all you're doing is dropping your index finger down one string. G7, drop down and get your ring finger out of there. G7, index finger goes down, ring finger comes up. G7, G7, drop it down. And then the A7, you just slide your middle finger over to A7. Yeah, yeah. In other words, darling, kiss me. D7 twice. Tap, tap. Slide that C, layer in the E7. Tap, tap. Fill my heart with song. We'll probably do, yeah, down, down. I like down, up, down, but a lot of people don't like that. So we'll just do down, down, up, down. Second verse, exact same as the first. The interlude, almost exact same. This doobie-doobie-doo thing is, of course, of Frank Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes, Affliction. And so I kind of like it. And so you just have to remember the melody. Doobie-doobie-doo, be-doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. Doobie-doobie-doo, doo-doobie, doobie-doobie-doo. When we're playing this, the hardest thing for people to do is to resist singing on the E7 strums. Wait for the lyric, wait for the lyric. If we go up to Jupiter and Mars, it is E7 twice, Jupiter and Mars. If we get down to worship and adore, it's E7 twice, worship and adore. If we get down to doobie-doobie-doo, it is E7 twice, doobie-doobie-doo. Where is that? There it is. In other words, hold my swing down hand, slide over. In other words, darling, kiss me, hit it twice, tap, tap. Song, let me sing, last section more. You are all I long for, all I hit it twice, worship and adore. In other words, oh, this is big, this is big. Let's all stay focused here. Just don't let me lose you here, right in here. Third line from the bottom. Please be true. In other words, G7. Please be, drop your finger down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, slide. Let's do that again. G7, 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing it down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, slide. Tap, tap. In other words, I love you. 2 beats, C. Okay, so let's sing that out. Let's do that last section, and we'll try to do it in some sort of rhythm and timing. So you get a better sense of how the Please Be True. If Frank was with us playing the ukulele, he loved the ukulele. If Frank was with us, how he would do this. Okay, so Fill My Heart with Song. 1, 2, last section, 3, 4, Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Any questions about that last section? Do, 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 do. Big finish. Frankie would love it. Questions about the song? The E7 double hits? The whatevers? Any other whatevers? Do, 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 do. We'll do a little playthrough here just for fun. Just for fun. Let's see what we got here. There we go. That's a good way to kill half an hour. We're going to have to hustle on those other songs. 1, 2, 3, 4. G7. Hit it. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like. I'll hit it. Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, that wasn't so hard. Darling, kiss me, hit it. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you, hit it. Swing it down, slide it over. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me, hit it. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, here it comes. Please be true. In other words, I love you. Ah, Frankie. Thank you, Bart Howard. I think Bart Howard, it always reminds me of The Wizard of Oz. Like somebody on that was one of the, like maybe the Cowardly Lion was a Bart. Maybe somebody else was a Howard. Or maybe it reminds me of the Three Stooges. I forget. Reminds me of something. Just squeeze. We all good? Everybody good? We're moving on. We are moving on to San Antone. 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 San Moving on to San Antonio. The issue with that ain't gonna do anything, is it? I don't know. That's not good. Don't do that, Bob. There we go. It is gonna move here in a second. I'm gonna find a spot to grab it. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. The issue with sharing the songbook and not just 5 songs is now I've got to go find. It's only about a 39-song songbook, so fortunately it's not. So there's the old Fly Me to the Moon in landscape. Bye-bye. So it's not 100 songs, so I don't have to scroll too far. Neil Chin in the COVID year of our Lord. Well, that's not. What do we want to do here? That does it. That's good. Neil Chin's a good friend of Sarah Maisel and Craig Chi. And they did a ton of tutorials, web-based, Zoom-based. It wasn't Zoom, probably YouTube. For during COVID, keep the ukulele community alive. And Neil Chin was a guest star on one, and he did a whole thing on Just Squeeze Me. Was brilliant. Did a brilliant tutorial. This is a superficially introduction to a really neat song. And I wish I was Neil Chin, kind of an overview. 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, then 4 beats. So it's but it's not super fast. So it's F. Flatten it out. Open C7. Now you know, of course, that if you can't perform this G minor 7 with 2 fingers, like if you've got a really stiff action on that first fret, you can put 2 fingers down on the first and second strings and swing a finger up, kind of like you're doing a really tight G form. And that's a G minor 7 right there. Or you can just do C7 sus4, which is open, open, 1, 1. It's a pretty sweet chord and can substitute. You're only doing it for 2 beats. It can substitute for that G minor 7 if you're struggling with how to get your fingers to push that thing down. There's a couple different ideas there. Back at the start, intro, F, G minor 7, off, down to the first fret, and do it again. D7, you can do 2020, island D7, or bar D7, 2223. Whatever is your fancy. That's why both are shown in the diagrams to kind of give you that license to play whatever one you're comfortable with playing. G minor 7 on that second line for 4 beats. 2, 3. Now, if you can form the G minor 7, you might as well just slide it up to the 3rd fret, because it's a beautiful chord and it is C7 in the second form. So instead of G minor 7 and then C7, a lower C7, G minor 7, take it up to the 3rd fret, and a higher C7. That's kind of fun. F for 4 beats, G minor 7 for 2 beats, 2 beats on the 3rd fret. And I'm going to give you the license to do whatever, however you want to play your C7, but I will be sliding up to the 3rd fret throughout the song, I think, unless my fingers wear out. So the melody is, I get sentimental. I am kind of mental when you hold me tight. Just squeeze me 2, 3, 4. But please don't tease me. 1, 2, 1, 2. When I get this feeling, I'm in ecstasy. Just squeeze me, but please don't tease me. And then this bridge is a much quicker pulsing. So you're already playing an F, just tease me. So all you have to do is put down a little friend next to your F, so that you're playing 2, 3, 1, 0. Missing you since you went away, singing the blues away each day. At B flat major 7, you keep your index finger planted. You just rearrange your other 2 fingers into a very nice E minor shape. Not where you would play an E minor, but it's that stair step shape. Oh, is that a pretty chord? Count the nights and waiting for you. B flat major 7. Swing it down. I'm in the mood to let you know I never knew I loved you so. Please say, slide it, you love me too. The rest is history, same as the intro. That instrumental part is the same as the intro. And then when I get this feeling, it's the same as the second verse. When I get this, and then we tag it with a second round of Just Squeeze Me down there at the bottom. Just squeeze me, but please don't tease me. Now, D minor 7, you could try to form up and stall your audience while you're trying to get all your fingers together and find your pinky and get it to get down there on that first string. And that's pretty. But it's kind of fun to go up on the 5th fret and just put your finger over the 5th fret where you should have a dot to find it. And you get that nice barred D minor 7. Second form of D minor 7, which is a nice way to end a song. So that would go, that last line, 2, 3, 4. Cut that out. 2, 3, 4. Just squeeze me, but please don't tease me. So while you're singing me a cappella, filling the space, your eyes are desperately searching for that dot on the 5th fret, and your hand is moving at the same time as you're singing me. And just as you finish me, you find the dot, you press down, and you do that. Okay, who's got questions? Well, let's do a little run through. In the this little line up here, I'm trying to get you to do down, 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 down. That's in the Missing You, that bridge section. Missing you since you went away, singing the blues away each day, counting the nights and waiting for you. Where each one of those dots and apostrophes are a downbeat. And then I like the down, up, down, up, up, down. How would that be? Yeah, nah. So, yeah, I don't think we'll do that. I'm just doing down, up, down, down, up, down for my 2 beats. And when you get to 4 beats, you can do down, down, up, up, down. And if that didn't confuse you, congratulations, because I'm confused. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get sentimental, mostly mental, when you hold me tight. Just squeeze me, but please don't tease me. When I get this feeling, I'm in ecstasy. Just squeeze me, but please don't tease me. 2, 3, 4. Missing you since you went away, singing the blues away each day, counting the nights and waiting for you. I'm in the mood to let you know I never knew I loved you so. Please say you love me too. Probably only needed one extra beat there. I'm going to think about that in my dreams. F. Last section. When I get this feeling, I'm in ecstasy. Just squeeze me, but please don't tease me. Just squeeze me, but please don't tease me. Aww. What would happen if you said, okay, I can't do that. Can't do that. I can't get all 4 fingers down in any sense of timing or rhythm. What if I just did D minor? What if I did squeeze me, but please don't tease me? I don't like that so much. I don't really like that so much. But I do like this. So I'm going to leave it as is. That's the name of that tune. Uh-oh. This was where we had our comeuppance. On the sunny side, J to S. That's a ways down there. Hang on. Scrolling and suing. Scrolling happening. Oh, we got to the ends. Oh, we got to the R's. We're not that. Satin Doll. We got to do Satin Doll. Maybe we'll do Satin Doll on Saturday. I don't know. It's amazing. You look at these songs. How many of them have like 47 chords? Straighten Up and Fly Right. 4 chords. How about that? Uh-oh, look at all those dots and stuff. That looks B7. Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind? You can't do B7. Too many chords, too many dots. Let's see what we can do. Okay, we've got D7 in both shapes. And there's a reason for that. In this one, it is nice to be able to bar your D7s. You don't have to, but it does. If you're playing D7 twice in a row or for 8 beats, it's nice to be able to switch from a low D7 to a high D7. That is kind of nice. So let's just start with this. Grab your coat, coat, coat. Where is that note? The hardest part of starting a song as a singer is making sure you hit that first pure, good note, nice and clean and pure. And that's what I miss most often. But grab your coat. It's that B. It's the bottom of your G. It's that middle finger. Grab your coat. Grab your coat. That's where the song starts. So if you miss that, then the whole song is going to go kerflooey. So I'm just saying. So we've got A minor 7, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, and 2 measures of G. Then rinse, repeat. A minor 7, D7, 2 measures of G. Except the second measure we hit it once. You hit it twice, and the grabure is the fourth beat, and then you're right into coat. But, yeah, so that's fine. So let's forget the shaded G flat to G stuff. Let's forget that for now. So then you got grab your coat, grab your coat. Your B7 you can do in 17 different ways as approved by the International Federation of Ukulele Players. So you got your G, you're already playing G. You're moving to B7. B7 you can play with the G form, just like we played the diminished chord with the top 3 strings. Take your G form and just move it up a string, and that's your B7. You can play it as an E minor shape. You've got your E minor. Beautiful. If you move those all up one string, you have got B7 once again. So as an E minor shape, if that's your most comfortable go-to shape, then play it that way. G. And of course, as a barred second fret, and throw in an extra finger on that third string, third fret. You can do that as well. But these other forms that we're very familiar with are much easier for folks to play B7 with. So anyway, there's a grab your coat, 2, 3, 4, get your hat, leave your C. Now, you don't have the G already formed, but you should be able to jump a G right back up there. Doorstep. Now what are you going to do? You got to get to E minor. So it may have been, when you're playing that C, if you went to B7 as an E minor shape, that may be the better way to go. Doorstep. Because then you just drop all the fingers down for E minor. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. So to jazz it, it's a jazz song. To jazz it up, you get to the end of the intro, you hit G. You take that G form, you move it to the first fret, and slide it right back to G. So that's G to G flat to G. You could do it as 3 hits, but it is kind of fun to slide. Totally up to you. A good slide, you push right through that fret as if you were driving a bulldozer through a mound of dirt. I don't know if that's a good analogy or not. But you aren't trying to jump over the fret, you're trying to push through it. And the same thing happens with the D7 slide. That's the Hawaiian D7. That doesn't sound so good, but as a barred D7, that sounds pretty good. So that would sound like that. Let me see. Let's go to just direct your feet, the third line, the E minor. 2, 3, 4. Just direct your feet to the 2-beat side of the street. Oh, so that's a really sweet way to punctuate the end of each section, is a little slide. It's there in grayscale, something to practice, something to fool around with, something you can use on many, many, many songs. I'll probably play it that way. You'll have, if you don't play it with me, you'll have to wait a couple beats while I get through that, but I'll probably play it that way on the playthrough. Can't you hear? Jump it up to B7, hit pitter pat, and that happy tune is your step. Life can be complete. On the sunny side of the street, 2, 3, 4. Now we've got an interlude or a part B. I used to walk in the shade, 2, 3, with those blues on parade. You can substitute in some of the stuff we've used from other songs. You could throw in a C major 7 if you wanted to. Blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. So if you don't use two different forms of D7, you would do, if you use just the island, this rover crossed over. Sounds perfectly fine. You do the bar. This rover crossed over. If I never had a cent. And we're just repeating now the first two verses. Feller, gold dust at my feet. On the 2 beats, 4 beats. The interlude, the instrumental interlude is the same as the verses. You can see, mostly, kind of, yes. Same as the first two verses. Second shaded part is the same as I used to walk. It's just repeated again. Okay, fun stuff. Let's go down here. Last section. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet. On the sunny side, on the sunny side. So we've been doing 2 beats on that all the way through. And now all of a sudden, because we're going to repeat on the sunny side, the D7 gets 4 beats. Sunny side, 2, 3. On the sunny side, 2, 3. On the sunny side of the D7. However you're playing your D7, take it up to the 5th fret and go 5, 4, 3, 2. So that was barred. So on the sunny side of the, on the sunny side of the street. Now on the, so let's say you're doing an island D7, second to last line, 2, 3, 4, sunny side, on the sunny side. Take that island D7 up to the 5th fret. It doesn't sound as good as a barred D7, marching up the neck. But the hits, all of the hits are going to be very brief, and the whole thing is going to go by really fast, and you're going to get right back to your D7, and people are going to, what did you just do? On the, where did that go? Yeah, on the last line, sunny side of the street. Uh-oh, we're running out of time. It's going to be so close. I'm getting so nervous. What? Who's got questions? Do-do, do-do-do-do. What was I going to do here? I remember. I was going to put my kisser back up. There it is. Okay. Nice and slow. Jazz slow. Tempo del Lerno. 1, 2, 3, 4. to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter pat and that happy tune is your step? Life can be complete on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side, on the sunny side, on the sunny side of on the sunny side of the street. Now for our jam songbook, if you look at that in Sunny Side of the Street, I eliminated this D7 run, and I deleted all of these slide notations, so we play it a much straighter version. And this rover crossed over, that is sung by different artists in different ways. Some is run on, like I've been doing this, rover crossed over. And some do, this rover crossed over, and then instantly into, if I never crossed over, if I never had a cent. So that's very much an artistic interpretation how you do that. But I dawdle because I care. So there. Because I dawdle because you bring out the boogie in me. That's why. We got time. We got time. If I get my clip to work, we got time. Okay, clip engaged. Scrolling engaged. This is an electronic scroller I just purchased. It's called my index finger. I don't know what I put up there. Oh, pump strumming. Oh, well. Maybe we'll talk about that someday. Let's see what we got. We've done C, we've done C7, we've done G. G, this is almost a ragtime progression, but it's not quite. Ragtime would be C to E7, A7, D7, G7, back to C. But the use of the G in here throws some stuff off. But anyway, I digress. The G slide. We know what that is. But G to E7 comes up in the intro, the end of the third line. You can make a blind man see. You can make me jump out of my tree. Third line, second verse. Shake fruit down from the tree. Third verse. G to E7. You just got to reach up with that index finger and then reposition your other two fingers. It's one of those high jump things. Ukastenic G to E7, G to E7, G to E7. You know, Cynthia Lynn always finds these elegant moves between chords. There is no elegant move. You just got to practice it until your fingers get that muscle memory. I think we're just going to play this through. Good luck. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what you got, but don't take a genius to see that whatever you got, it's hot and it's melting me. When you move like that, when you groove like that, you could make a blind man see. You're a hot little cookie, you bring out the boogie in me. All the women I've had were glad when my boogie got tired. They would sputter and scratch like a match you can't set on fire. When you prance like that, in your pants like that, Lord, you could make me jump out of my tree. You're a hot little cookie and you bring out boogie in me. Let's go down to the lake, I could show you a thing or two. We could spend all our time drinking wine in a rented canoe. We could reel and romp, kick and stomp. We could shake fruit down from the tree. You're a hot little cookie and you bring out boogie in me. Oh yeah, there was an ad lib. You're a hot little cookie, you bring out the boogie in me. On the playthrough, every time I practice it, I thought, that needs an oh yeah, second to last line. You're a hot little cookie, you bring out the boogie in me. Oh yeah, you're a hot little cookie, you bring out the boogie in me. Oh, bring out the boogie in me. I'm gonna stop sharing. Everybody okay out there? Let's go see what's going on. Look at y'all, look at you all. So what a good looking group this is. That's original sound, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to change my view is what I wanted to do so I could see everybody. Oh, whatever. Oh, there it is. There's the view. You guys like watching me talk to myself? Struggle? You like watching me struggle? Oh my goodness, what a good looking group. Look at you all. All good? We good? Score? All right. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for being part of the show. Thanks for hanging in there. Good to see everybody. Okay, I'm going to sign out. I'm going to do something here. I forget what. I know. I think it says turn off recording.
Well, terrific lesson, Bob.
Oh, super feedback is what I say.